Snipe Gang.
Daddy making the video.
Welcome. We got a legend, you know what I'm saying? He's not an artist, he's a bomber, an author, a publisher, the Philadelphia Bomber, aka KR. Welcome to Independent Voices.
Welcome, KR.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate being here. What's good with it? Thank you for having me. I appreciate that, man.
We're going to start it from the beginning. Where you from?
Uptown Philly, man, Mount Airy. That's where I was born. No, not born and raised. I was born in North Philly. 71. Since 71. I've been in Mount Airy. Right here where we at.
Okay. Alright, so what was it like, growing up in Mount Airy as a young boy?
Well, my father worked for the Youth Study Center, so for 21 years. He's still alive, 85 years old. So it was kind of strict, man. You know, he was on my ass. You know what I'm saying? I'll just keep it like that. It was strict upbringing, but I'm happy that it was strict because it made me the person that I am today. I learned a lot from those people. Both my parents are still alive, and so it's a blessing that I still have them, and I'm able to continually receive knowledge from them.
Did you get into any type of trouble as a young boy? Like far as on the streets that you could talk about?
Well, if I can get through the coughing part. The camera's there, right?
Serious, live and direct.
Yeah.
Coming at you live.
That's that gas. Uncle G need a second.
No, the answer to that question, I'm glad I had the call so I can actually gather the thoughts. Like I picked up the game of graffiti in 1982, and I'm not even going to talk about that. But I graduated.
We're going to get to that.
Okay, I graduated in '86 from Northeast High School. Ventured off to college. Actually, while I was in high school, I went to Swenson Skill Center and learned a skill called COBOL, which is a way to manipulate computers. Well, I found a way to do that also. So I had an inclination, man.
So you went to school for computers?
I went to a skills school, Swenson Skills Center.
Swenson, all right.
Off Red Line Road.
Yes.
And I learned a couple things there. And me being with the mind I got, man, I was at Broad Island. I'll be real short with it. I was at Broad Island with this girl named Janice who was from Pittsburgh. And I said, you know what, let me try to see if I can fuck with this ATM at Broad Island. So I tried for $50.
Yeah.
And the shit worked. Okay. And what happened after that, the next 2 years, I was taking money or manipulating money from ATMs or Mac machines and raked in I had nothing to show for it. But it was at least over $176,000. Yeah, that's real. And any of my friends that really, really know me can attest to that.
Did you ever get in trouble for that?
I almost did federal time in prison.
Dang.
They called me, I was one of the only motherfuckers with them big ass cell phones with an antenna on the bitch. And I got a call from the federal police, the government. So they wanted me to give up a certain amount of money. When I was robbing those machines, I had rings on every finger. What I did was pawn my jewelry. It still wasn't enough. I'm keeping it a bean. It still wasn't, not that anybody cares, it's not a big deal. But it wasn't enough. My father gave me the rest of the money. He kept me out of prison. I don't know how much time I would have did there, but they was on my ass.
That's what's up.
So we're going to move on. So you started off with like graffiti because you you own your own magazine, right?
Yeah, well, the magazine came after after my graffiti career started.
Yeah, so you started with graffiti?
I started with graffiti for sure.
Alright, when did you start with that? With being
About
not
12 years, I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
I caught my first tag around this area, Mount Airy, a little further up, off of Voycez. From there, that was enough. I couldn't stop from there.
It's an addiction.
Yeah, you know, and like we was talking earlier, everybody's addicted to something.
Yeah.
It could be getting your nails done. It could be cocaine. It could be sneakers, a sneaker fetish, or if you like polo and all that type of shit. And it could also be graffiti, or graffiti art within its, you know, natural essence. So everybody's addicted to something.
Alright, so what inspired you to be a graffiti artist?
There was a book that was written a number of years ago called The Thrill of the Chase. It was a rush, man. It was a rush from the beginning up until now, and you know, actually me getting older now, I'm trying to slow down, but that shit ain't easy. You know, because I know how to get around and do what I do with a can of paint.
Alright, what was your first tag name?
My first ever, that's a good question, that nobody knew. It was Kik, K-I-K. I never really put it on the walls. It's like it was like a gangster hand style type of deal. You know what I mean? But I never put it on the walls, man.
How old were you when you started writing that?
I was in high school. Actually, the KR thing, I wrote that first. My answer's fucked up, because initially it was KR. In high school, I tried another name, Kik, and I ain't like that. Then I went to Remos, Robinson's Eclipse for the Mystic Outrageous Slams. And then I said, you know what, let me just keep it at KR. So my fault for that. My shit was fucked up there. So it was actually KR in 1982.
Mm-hmm.
I got to high school.
Okay.
I tried to do the Kik thing. I tried the KIK and shit. And I went to Remos and said, no, let me just keep it at KR. It's easier. It's two fucking letters, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know. Can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with that.
Style to it, you know.
And I kind of added the KR skis and KR does, KR ski do bop.
Alright, what was your relationship like with Cornbread?
Cornbread and I used to work at the Youth Study Center. So peace out to the YSC crew. I did that for 17 years. His kids were locked up at my job, so I know all his kids, you know, unapologetically that way through the Youth Study Center. He was in the lobby good 20 years ago, so it was 2021 now, and I talked to him and he said his name and I figured out who he was, man, and we've been kind of like older to younger brother friends ever since.
Yo, make sure y'all come to 7-Eleven on Frankfurt and Decatur, you know what I'm saying? Come get your pizza, 2 for $2.59, you know what I'm saying? Come get your hot dog, 2 for $3, you know what I'm saying? Make it down at 7-Eleven at Frankfurt and Decatur. Peace.
Even catching the tag in Manhattan about a month ago.
Alright, how would you convince the younger generation to stop all this killing? You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we had like 400 plus murders in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would you tell, you know what I mean, them young boys out there, you know what I mean, to put down the guns and like, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, actually having that experience of how much time I got for this answer?
It don't matter, you know what I'm saying? You're talking to the young boys, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well, after having the experience, and I was blessed to have that experience. I made a lot of money working for the Youth Study Center, and you know, working on the front line, seeing over 6,000 kids a year for 17 years. taught me a few things. One thing, especially now, as opposed to when I was working there, these kids today do not have the ability to improvise. They have been stripped of the ability to improvise, to make believe, or use their brain for other things, imaginary things, thinking that they could be something. Instead, now, and also, the dress code is totally different. The music they listen to is almost demonic to them, in a sense where they're easily influenced. Thank you. And they listen to it and they follow what they hear. Nobody reads anymore.
Right.
Nobody writes in cursive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so
I don't even think they teach in the school anymore.
they're not. They are not. They are not. So
Philadelphia school.
Now these days, instead of it being something like where people have to. I'm sorry. They're doing this. They're reading words from a book. They're not doing that. Now it's more this. These kids are being spoiled. The ability to be strict on children regarding physical has been totally wiped out the game. It's horrible. It's been swept under the rug. So I think that the generation this era is really going in the wrong direction. We are heading on a state of regression
But
to
it's
the
not.
10th power.
But it's not too late. To save our children.
No,
Well,
It's not too late. To guide them in a different direction, whereas though violence is not always the answer.
Well,
that should be the last answer.
What's ashamed is, guns and drugs are easily accessible. Any kid can buy a gun off the streets.
It's too easy.
And in addition to that, the weed is different. Whatever the drugs are different, period. I don't consider marijuana a drug. It comes from the ground. But everything's different. And these kids are now, the average brain is not fully matured. It used to be the age of 25. Now it's 27. And still at that age, a lot of motherfuckers are still not ready. Even if they have kids, it doesn't make them a man, it just makes them a father.
So
Am I wrong or right about that?
Yeah.
Just because you fucking, it don't make you got hair on your chest, and you 21, it makes you a man legally. You can go to buy a beer and shit, you know what I'm saying? But it don't fucking make you it makes you a father if you making a child.
You taking care of your own mental.
So-
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing if I mean, motherfuckers are, you horny, man. I mean, you see something you like, man, vice man or female, it all depends on how you were raised, or even not even that.
So, your experience, do you think graffiti kept you out of trouble? As far as, if it wasn't for graffiti, maybe, graffiti might have saved your life? Do you?
Shit. I mean, it's been a few times where I almost got killed over that shit, and I've been threatened as per my career in the game. So.
All right. Well, since we talking about that, pretty much, put the guns down. And pick up a can of spray paint. And start painting, or pick up a pencil or something.
Right.
All right, so what you were saying? Let's talk about some of the difficulties and the challenges you had out there. I wouldn't say tagging, but bombing. Because you're not an artist, you are a bomber.
I am not. I facilitate, or I've been running a company called Graffiti Muralists for the last 7.5 years, which gives me the opportunity to find spaces for the extremely talented artists from Philadelphia to perform their productions on the surface.
Alright, so when was Grass Mag established?
Graffiti magazine was first established in 2003. It was a very thin publication. I was kind of like inspired from the Source magazine. A lot of people don't know that the Source magazine didn't start off making millions of dollars. It was just one page. It was a double-sided page, and people started, cling to it. Now I've been making millions of dollars. So my magazine, a couple magazines over there, started in 2003. Thin publication, black and white. What was happening was when I created the magazine, I was real hype about it, man. I was making a lot of money working at the Youth Study Center, and so nobody was really buying it.
$2 you were selling for?
At first, it started off as $1, and I guess you could call it arrogant. Went up, hey, I'll go up $1 and win $2.
Right.
I was going to a lot of the graffiti events back then and trying to sell them.
Right.
I didn't make no money. I made money through advertisements, and I kind of got discouraged about it, or slightly depressed. So I was just giving them away. I would go on the trains, man, and just put them in seats and shit on a bus, and just put them in the seats before I get off. You know what I mean? Just trying to get it out there. People, I knew somebody was gonna pick it up.
So why did you get into the entertainment business?
Well, my father was he's still alive. He was one of the type of dudes. He used to manage a band. My sister was in the band. It used to be called Zeus. Both my brothers were in it. My brother Kevin, his daddy died of AIDS a number of years ago, but they were all in the group. And so he was part of the entertainment business. He managed the group. I used to be a beatbox for a rap group that's from this area. I'm not gonna do it. We ain't gonna do all that. But I was always involved in, or experienced entertainment.
Okay. Alright. How do you feel about the internet affecting the sales of the physical magazines?
Say the last part.
Physical magazines, the internet, taking away the sales from physical copies.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm working on number 17 now. Not really making a whole lot of money. People like to say, yeah, KR is making all this money, and and he ain't paying nobody.
Right.
I'm not making a whole lot of money. So what I'm saying, to answer your question, I'm sorry. What?
You alright. How do you feel about the internet affecting the sales of the magazines, physical magazines?
What I was getting to was you're talking about the physical copies, right?
Yeah, like hard copies. Because you also got digital as well.
Yeah, I sell my magazine, physical and digital sales.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the physical side right now.
Okay, it was about 7 or 8 years ago. I sell my magazine downtown. I got a lot of spots down there. But one time I tried to sell it at the gallery, underground. And the boss, I think it was Indy, said, I'm not going to mimic him. I'm just going to say it straight up. He said the magazine business is pretty much done.
Yeah.
And I didn't want me physically, I'm like, mentally also. Yeah. I'm saying, well, damn, he's probably right. Because the internet is a powerful tool. But I said, well, shit, I really don't care about the money when it comes to the magazine. Yeah. I'm really more interested in, my own personal memorabilia. Yeah. And in addition to that, the culture within itself when it comes to hip hop in its rarest form.
Amen.
So,
what was the toughest challenge you had to face in this business?
As far as the magazine goes?
Yes.
When you when you publish a magazine, whether you're making money or not, there may come a time where you and your partner may not get along. Something may not go right, and it might be a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? So, in one little incident, that magazine right there with Cat on the other one next to it, that one there. Yeah. That's the worst magazine that was ever made from me and my partner, who's not I'm going north.
Come to Frankfurt and Decatur, to the Sunoco. They got the freshest cigarettes, the freshest Dutches. I come here every day, you know what I'm saying? They got the coldest drinks. Everything in here is fresh. Come get your gas for $3.39. That's that regular. Come to Sunoco on Frankfurt and Decatur.
I'm no longer working with. But we got to an argument, an altercation, verbal, and he pretty much did what he wanted to do with the magazine. Everything was all chopped up. So things like that can definitely transpire all day long. That's just one answer to the question, because it's many. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Do you think graffiti and breakdancing was introduced through hip hop?
Absolutely. Wasn't it? It was done before that. They were dancing. Africans, Egyptians. You know what I mean? They were doing all kinds of stuff like that.
I was saying that when it was
They didn't
there.
call it that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Let's say it was called dancing or a tribal type of event where they didn't know what to call it, but later called it dancing. I actually need to look into that. That's a good one, man. Good question.
All right. Who is your top 5 graffiti artists worldwide? They don't gotta be just from Philly. If you want to include yourself in there.
No, I would. Let's see. That's a good one, man. Well, number one for me is Cornbread, because he's not just because I consider him like a big brother. It's just because of the way he opened the doors for the culture of hip hop itself. Without, and I hope he watches this, without really having a gangster hand. He's known. He was the Corn, and D had the line and it went around like that, which is, it was a name that he made marketable.
Right. There was no style or nothing, so it was just
not really. But I have to give him a lot of credit.
Number 2, you got 4 more.
Shit, man.
You want to do 3? Your top 3?
I'm thinking along the lines of hand styles. Just because that's what I just write and shit.
It's like your personal favorite. I mean, this is your opinion, so it's not a wrong answer.
Cornbread, man. 5 hand styles, man. I can give you hand styles.
Alright, so we're gonna put Cornbread at number 1. Who at number 2?
No, I can't. We're not gonna. How I just give you the names in no specific order.
Alright, yeah, that's
people
cool.
that I really think about.
Yeah, that's cool.
When it comes to graffiti, Dondi.
Okay. Shout out.
From New York. No specific order. Hand styles. One of the guys that really I think about a lot is Satan ICP. Real smooth with it.
So that was 4. You got 1 more?
2 or 3, right?
that was 3.
The guy that inspired me, that pretty much got me started in the game. Some people know, if you know your history, you know the name. It's Jake, aka Basic CIA. Got to give him a lot of props.
Shout out.
Shit, man.
1 more.
There's so many. This magazine I do with a lot of people. We're talking overall. Definitely all day long is what's his name? That's some bitch. Submarine, aka RX.
Okay.
Rated X. Roofing and roofing and topping areas extremely, or some shit like that. Some shit like that.
So that's KR top 5. Alright, so you got any pieces like artwork, graffiti work in other cities?
I can say I've monetarily helped a number of artists in need in different areas of the world.
Alright, could you speak on that? Like,
I'll give you just one area, which is
Okay.
Kampala, Uganda. This guy's still an aspiring artist, doing big things out there. But he needed my assistance at the time, and he communicated via inbox, and I believed him. So I laid him out a couple dollars, and we still talk today. And he's actually teaching art in his homeland, and he's trying to come around here, to Philadelphia, or at least travel to somewhere out, or where he lives and resides. But it was real difficult out there, as opposed to being where we are. Now, what was it? Ask that question again, though, because you had. Let me hear that.
I'm not sure in question.
All right, let's go. My bad.
How would you describe the sound of hip hop today?
How
would you describe the sound of hip hop today?
Well, these days, as opposed to back in the day, they weren't making in anything, sports or entertainment. The money wasn't as lucrative as it is now. So Biggie Small said it clearly: party and bullshit. So, in my opinion, I'm happy. Doesn't matter what color they are, that they're making money doing what they're doing, but it's all hidden behind a beat. If the beat is knocking, somebody's grandma is going to at least do this here, or the foot going to do this shit here. And the kids, because they're spoiled, like I was spoiled, what I'm saying? If I wanted something, what I'm saying? I asked my mom, I get that shit. What I'm saying? So they gonna buy the motherfucking CD or give them the money. They ain't even doing CDs now, my bad. They they gonna have them give them the fucking with Spotify and shit, or some other that the app, and they gonna be able to get hit with the money, get what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, they listening to it on these motherfucking earphones. They don't hear shit. So it's a different era, man. I'm not knocking it. I'm just not really with it. You know what I'm saying?
So who your favorite rapper?
KRS-One all day. You know what I'm saying? The GOAT.
Brains.
The GOAT.
He just did a versus with Big Daddy Kane. Did you see that?
I did.
What you think about the verses?
I'm gonna tell you right now, Big Daddy Kane held his own. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people were complaining about KRS-One. Saying he was doing a lot of reggae. Well, if you listen to some of his songs that were recorded, he was kicking that shit in reggae, and and meaning he's the GOAT, because he's the most versatile MC in the game. Big Daddy, he was swift with it, sure to score and do it for more without a flaw, because I get raw. His style was the same, and then he went smooth with it. KRS-One did not do that.
No.
He was hype as shit and bounced the fuck around. You know what I'm saying? He did at least 3 or 4 different styles. Man, the bars were incredible. Excuse me for stuttering earlier. My brain went fried on that one. But yeah, man. To answer that question, yes, most assuredly, KRS-One.
We're gonna get back into the magazine for August 21st, 2018. You published a magazine called Elements of Hip Hop Exclusive. You want to talk about that?
I was very interested to do the magazine. A lot of people say that it used to be called the B-Boy Barbecue, which is argued by many that it ain't, wasn't transferred from the B-Boy Barbecue to now the Elements of Hip Hop. However, I'd like to give a major shout out to Bard, Eye to Eye Into It, because he's one of the guys that's the forerunners of the Elements of Hip Hop. Does a very good job, as per keeping the culture alive. And I've been to many of those events, so I just decided, man. I said, I gotta pay homage, because I'm doing a magazine. Again, the money, I don't really give a fuck about that. It's not I'm not making no fucking money. I did almost 100 copies on my last magazine or close to it, and I really didn't receive anything. I'm glad, because you know it's proof. I mean, that me, KR, I'm all about the culture. So that magazine I was extremely honored to do, and wow, that's a very good question.
And I want to talk about another magazine that you also published on November 25th, 2019. The Almighty.
Give me the fucking dates.
The Almighty Ali. How you pronounce that?
The Almighty Whitey.
The Almighty Whitey.
Shout out to Oz.
Oz, right?
Oz.
Yeah. An honor to
So
do.
you want to talk about that
It
magazine?
was an honor to do all my magazines. The way the magazine works with me is because I'm the CEO of the publication. Nothing to brag about. That's the truth. Who I find favor at that particular moment when I'm ready to do a magazine, then I go after them to put them on the front cover of the magazine, and include that magazine with the Q&A on the inside, question and answer, along with pictures and shit like that. You know, I'm a man of color, and I've done most of the magazines, not black and white, but the ones in color were only really concerning men of color or a person of a melanin skin tone. So I said, well, I got to mix it up, man. I can't fucking. I don't think, me personally, and nobody had to tell me this. I didn't think it would be fair to just say, well, shit, man, it's only black people write graffiti. And see, the thing with that is, when I started writing graffiti, there were no Caucasian or any other heritage or whatever like that there. In my neighborhood, it was only people of color. And one white or Caucasian couple, the Beechers, they live right next door.
The Beechers.
Yeah. Then later on, they fucking moved out. So all I thought was at that time was, oh, it's only black people write graffiti until I got transferred from schools in Mount Airy to the schools in the Northeast. Desegregation.
Okay.
That opened a whole new window for me, man.
Who was like the first graffiti writer that you met when you were going to do that?
As far as desegregation?
Yes.
After school, well, I went to J. Hampton Moore, I went to Wilson Junior High School, and I went to Northeast High School. When I was going to J. Hampton Moore, that's when we were the first black people to get bused out there to the Northeast, which is around 76 or 77, right? After school, speeding up a little bit, you know, a couple of white kids would call me all kinds of slanderous names and shit, but I actually started to cling to a few other people. One of them was Dazzle, Allied Forces, president and creator of the Allied Forces. I would go over their house, his sister and I were close, we were cool. So I would go around there, and I'm a black dude, and I ain't supposed to be out in that fucking neighborhood after fucking dark. But my parents are still great parents, but they were so cool back then, they would come pick me up down there at either her house or Kim Newell's house. So the first person that I ran into and was Dazzle. And then I met other writers after that via him. Deadhead, Rave, a guy that wrote Zilla. I can keep going with that, man. MB, I met him out there. Did a little stint at the what do you call that shit? It's called the Clip now. What do you call it? The network. I got locked up at Northeast High School for writing in there. You know what I'm saying? So they had this little store and shit on what the fuck is the name of that fucking street, man. Rising Sun.
Rising
So I'll
Sun.
go around now. I met a couple of writers out there too. So
Yeah. So, out of all the magazines that you worked on, what project you had the most fun with?
well, okay. So as my mentals progress, of me learning shit here and there, ups and downs of doing the magazine. Like I stopped doing, after I did 5 of the black and whites, I stopped, man, because I wasn't selling them. And I mean, I'm running 5,000 magazines on the skid from New Jersey. I had to go to New Jersey to pick these up. $5,000. It's not dollars, excuse me. 5,000 magazines on the skid.
Okay.
So and nobody was. Some people bought them, but it wasn't like I had to get 5,000 more. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're like, oh shit, I gotta go back to Jersey and get 10,000 of these bitches. They sound like hotcakes, man. No, it was, for a good few years, through discouragement, I stopped.
Alright, so do you plan on going 100% digital? And still with the magazines? Like, magazines still exist, but it's more so like online. Like, if would you be willing to commit?
Nope.
Alright.
No, but there's no way I'm going to. I sell digital.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Somebody
I was
always
getting
gonna,
cheated out of that because,
somebody always gonna want a physical copy somewhere.
which is why there's no fucking way I'm going to not stop doing that. It's going to be a two-way street as far via what I do with this magazine. It started off real thin, like right here, real thin, with a couple good stories inside of it, some advertisements, and through discouragement, I stopped for a good, I'm gonna say 5 years of not doing anything with it, and then I just decided, man, you know what, fuck this, man, fuck that shit, man. I don't care what anybody thinks. If you don't like it, so the fuck what? There was a little pamphlet called Silent Rights. I don't know if they were making money. I didn't really care about that, man. But it was dope. It was just a little pamphlet. Just open it up like this, and you see graffiti and a little bit of connotation of literature and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I just decided. I said, you know what, man? I have the knowledge to and the get go to do it.
Yeah.
I can get to people. Most people in the game that I want to because of who I am, and I'm not a bad dude, you know what I mean? People don't like me and all that shit. There's love and hate in the game.
Right.
And for the people that hate me, I love you back, and I forgive you. You know what I'm saying? But I said, fuck this shit, man. I'm coming back out. And I ain't fucking never stop. And I ain't never gonna stop. Why? Because I'm KR, man. Fuck out of here. Peace out to UTS, peace out to STK and Uptown. Where we at with it?
Oh yeah. Alright, speaking of coming back out, do you got anything coming out soon?
I got, man, I am so excited, man. I mean, shit, that should have been, when you asked me, about the one I was most happy about, is this one, man. I'm telling you. This magazine coming up, I'm working on it right now. And peace out to Glenn Contour, who's my partner from Australia. Who pretty much puts the magazine together. He's done the last 3 magazines, so we're working on the 4th together, man. So peace out to him right there. I love you, baby. But this one here,
Well,
yummy, yummy. Let me tell you.
When can they expect it?
Let me say what it's about.
Okay.
If I may, may I?
Yes,
Let me get a
talk
sip of the yellow can right here.
Talk your talk.
I'm so happy about this one.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm excited now.
I was born in 1968. All right.
Yeah.
A good 3 years, maybe 3 to 5 years, I started to see something that a lot of people don't see. us people right up in here, we see what a lot of people don't see.
Yeah.
And that was graffiti. So to shorten it up a little bit, from just being around and getting around to these events, and meeting not just Cornbread, but other people that wrote in his era, hanging around these dudes, you know what I mean, and really talking to these motherfuckers, man. I said, shit. The bait, I did my last magazine was with bait on the front cover. I said, well, damn, I gotta do what you want to know. I gotta keep going. I gotta go better, man. I gotta go fuck. I can't go interview somebody that just started a year ago and put him on the front cover and think it's gonna sell more than 100 copies. And see that 100 copies, I don't give a fuck about the money. But I got it for myself. And somebody might want to look at it later on when I'm an old motherfucker. But the magazine that I'm doing right now is based on the cats that was writing graffiti when y'all wasn't born. Matter of fact, I was a little motherfucker, but y'all wouldn't even thought about it. Okay. And I'm calling it the Phillygraph door openers or some shit like that. We're working on a title, but it's based on solely the guys that were writing when the gang warring and the doo-wopping and the fucking all these niggas was walking around with suits and shoes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. And bucket hats or the fucking the old school hats, the straw jaws and shit. Yeah. But they was out there getting it. It wasn't just gang warring. Yeah. These motherfuckers, some of these motherfuckers weren't even involved in gang warring. They was out there bombing. Which is why I like to be called a bomber. I am not an artist. I'm an artist in the mind when it comes to cooking, doing this magazine, running the mural arts business. When I run the mural arts or facilitate a mural arts event, I don't paint. I just make sure they get a little, a couple hours of accommodations. I just watch it. I watch them because that's what comforts me. I just want to be around it. And even if I'm on a fucking wheelchair or got to be, picked up and taken to an event, I'm gonna be there, man. And that's real rap.
All right. So when can they expect this magazine to drop? This year or next year?
First off, it's another great question. You are doing well. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. Where we at with it? Yeah, I want. It's hard to do a biannual. It's not easy to do a biannual which meaning 2 magazines a year. Especially if I can't just solely concentrate on that magazine. Okay. With this magazine, it's an interview with not just one person. Sometimes, or on many occasions, doing the color magazine, and even the black and white. I've not only had the one graffiti artist in there, it's also an unsigned hip-hop artist from Philadelphia only. Okay. That get a Q&A. I'm working on y'all next. You will be in the next magazine. Okay. It's documented right there. Yeah. We already talked about it.
Yeah, I heard that.
Can't be in this magazine here because it's solely, concerning the OGs that started the game.
It's in progress already, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed. I ain't playing no fucking games with that.
So
to answer the question though, my bad, there's no way that magazine will not drop before the year's over. Okay. And Minor, I got your book. It's right in my lap. That's gonna be my Christmas gift. I had it for 3 years, and it's loaded with all kinds of shit.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? We'll be at with it again.
All right, make sure y'all go to www.magcloud.com. That's MAGCLOUD.com. You know what I'm saying? To get to check out all his magazines and all his work. And your newest magazine gonna be on that website, right? That's where they can go get that magazine at.
Yes,
It's gonna
sir.
be on social media. And
You know, I've been slipping on that, man, just because you know, I always want people to know that, yo, man, KR is doing this magazine, and he don't really care about the bread. This magazine is not paying my bills. I've been working for the city of Philadelphia for 31 years. It's my anniversary today. My wife and I have been together for 28 years. So,
Happy anniversary.
thank you. Appreciate it. So, yeah, man. I'm gonna keep on doing this here till I'm dead in the fucking box.
Love it.
Alright, so that's
So it's all about hip hop and you know, its full essence. You know, in a slight way, you know, with the new shit that's going on, you gotta include them because that's what they're trying to do. That fucking Nas X thing, yo, man, get the fuck out of here with that shit. That pink ass shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, but can I say this too, lastly?
yeah.
I'm assuming that this joint, it sound like you trying to wrap it up, which is fine. But I want to say that I appreciate you two dudes, man. You're keeping the culture alive. I've been involved in this fucking game non-stop at my own leisure for 40 fucking years when it comes to me bombing or putting the magazines together, man, which again is arduous. Look it up in the dictionary. Some of you don't have the temerity to do that. Okay, look it up. And in addition to doing this mural arts thing, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna make sure, you know what I mean, I pay homage to young men or people or women or whoever that's trying to keep this fucking culture alive. Okay, because you know, we all gonna die one day. Life itself is inevitable. We ain't gonna live forever. So I say salute to Red Snipes.
Salute that.
Salute to Vinny Brawl. I love you some bitches. You know what I'm saying? That's real from up right there where we at with it.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Y'all doing real good things. Keep the hip hop culture alive. Y'all can switch it up. Y'all can switch it. We still taping?
Yeah,
Y'all can switch it up. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all can go with that, you know what I'm saying, with that new shit, you know what I'm saying? And you can bring it back to where it was really at. You know what I'm saying? Where it was really at. And I've been there, I saw y'all live. And I've been a fan ever since. Actually, your boy, right?
I appreciate that.
So thank you, and keep this podcast going, man. I got your fucking back. Pretty City, where we at?
Pretty
City,
Snipe
what?
Gang.
Snipe Gang, KO Squad, that's
So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, tell them your socials, you know what I'm saying, where they can find you at.
Well, on Instagram, I'm gonna do more. I have to do more.
You know what I'm saying, you know, just
Because the money would be cool. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, give them your Instagram where they can find you so they can
What am I? KR underscore
look you up there.
KR underscore SDK underscore UTS.
Okay, that's on
Something like that.
That's on Instagram.
That's on Instagram.
Okay.
On Facebook, I run 3 pages. One's called Aerosol Asylum. I ain't tell you about that. There's over 5,000 viewers. I've been kind of lunching on a lot of shit, man. But anyway, another page is called Graph World Mag, M-A-G, and the other one's called Graph World Murals. Now, with this magazine thing, I kind of shut down on everything when I'm doing it. Then when I finish one, because I'm doing all kinds of shit, which is why they call me the Johnny Carson of Filthy Graph. That I don't get back to these pages. I'm posting on this page, that page, and my government John, and my Instagram page, and then emails, and then you know what I'm saying. There's all kinds of shit that we adults. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do adult things. Can I give a shout out to these young boys, man?
Go ahead, talk to them.
Learn the culture. Learn the culture. If you don't know about somebody like me, man, I wasn't no super top big dog in the game, but I've been around for 4 decades. Learn the culture.
That's fact.
Follow the rules. You know what I'm saying? Don't be no dickhead just because you got around for a year. You know what I'm saying? So what? do it for a number of years. A lot of the OGs, right, before me, their careers lasted for no more than 8 years. My career lasted for 40 years. And in the midst of that, I created a magazine and a mural arts business while maintaining a job and keeping up the KR tenure. That's 5 crowns to sit up on top of this big fucking head right here. That's why it's a big motherfucking head. Motherfucking mega mind. Where we at with it?
Where we at with it?
You see it firsthand.
Where we at with it? Chip Live.
Coming at you live with that shit. Show me how it's done, KR. K Rally rocks the spot. Gritty City uptown, where we at with it? Vinny Raw, Red Snipes, KR. Yes.
KL, man, thanks.
Bang, bang.
20. 21. Where we at with it?
All day.
Uptown Warlords in the building.
All
KL's
day.
in the building.
What?
SMK's in the motherfucking building.
Haters, fix your face.
UTS is in the motherfucking building.
What?
Let's get it, man.